What to do, YouTube? It's SS, and I'm back with another video on this one right here. This one right here. Well, let me tell you about this one. As you guys can see right there, I am powering up this Slowpoke. It's got a what is it? A cowboy hat? I'm not even sure what it is. The Detective Slowpoke or whatever from Detective Pikachu. I did end up. I was trading few, and I ended up getting a lucky hundo. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna use it for the catch cup. Unfortunately, it is not best buddy, so it's not level 51, but it is level 50. So if you guys uh would like the video and subscribe, that would mean everything. Just because I did end up using my resources, my Stardust, though I will end up getting it back. But I did it was a big investment as to get it to level 50. But despite that, I did end up going positive, and also you guys can see right here, I am actually TMing water gun onto the wish cache, so we're also running water gun on top of the Galarian um Zapdos. So yeah, it's kind of fun. Catch cup. This is what I ended up getting for this for this season. So with further ado, I guess let's get into these battles. But before that, the link to the Discord and my Twitch, which I did do these battles on Twitch. So I did do these on Twitch. So link in the description if you do want to go follow me down there. But either way, let's go ahead and get to these battles as we do see a Kangaskhan into our Wish Cache. At this point, I'm gonna go for the Mud Bomb. Now I'm gonna try to go for the Farm Down, but they are gonna make it to another move. I hold out on throwing my energy because I do want to shield and just farm down completely, which is what I'm gonna do right here. And then now I am gonna go ahead and do one water gun, probably end up throwing, which is what I do here. Now the Haunter comes back in. They are gonna have to shield this, or it will end up KOing. I'm gonna try to make it to another move. I do make it to another move. At this point, do they want to shield? The answer is yes, they do want to shield. I'm gonna switch out instantly into my Slowpoke. I'm gonna go ahead and shield this, and whatever they throw, they're only gonna get to one move. As you guys can see, they went down. There's a Ninetales in the back. Game's over, and we end up winning. So first game, we're starting out really good with Slowpoke, as we do see Quagsire into our Zapdos now. At this point, I think it was too fast, yeah, so it is the Aqua, so I'm going to go ahead and farm up a little bit extra. I'm going to go straight for the Ancient Power here. We do end up getting a shield, so since they shielded, I am going to shield as well. Now I'm going to farm up a little bit extra. I can take another move, so I'm going to go ahead and let it go through. Now I am going to farm up a little bit. Probably throwing CMP. I do end up throwing on CMP, so we'll see what they want to do. Do they want to shield? And no, they don't want to shield, which is really good for me. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get farmed down by this Gligar. But we are running water gun on our Wish Cache, which is pretty good for us. Now I am gonna go ahead and let this go through. It's just a nice slash, and they switch out into a Medicham at this point. I'm hoping I can make it to a move here. I'm hoping I can get to the Blizzard, because Blizzard will be close to KOing, as they do dynamic punch me, and they're running cycle cut on it, so we are actually able to make it to the Blizzard. Now we are gonna switch out, snipe them with the confusion, get the confusion down. They're gonna come into their Gligar, throw on very bad timing, and as we remember, they are running Night Slash, so we're gonna have to try to farm down as they throw on bad timing again. And now I'm gonna go ahead and shield this one, but this is gonna be super bad for us because they do end up getting the boost here, and now I am at back-to-back moves. So as long as they are not another move and win CMP over us, we're actually gonna be able to take this game, which we do end up winning. And yeah, Slowpoke. I had a lot of fun with Slowpoke. I'm gonna use it tomorrow. So if you're watching this video today, I will be running it tomorrow. So make sure to follow the Twitch link in the description once again. But either way, we're gonna go ahead and switch out, as the bomb barrier is gonna be getting to a move. They're gonna switch out into Oinkoloing. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but either way, they're going to swap out into that. I'm going to go straight for the Blizzard, not expecting them to shield, and they don't shield, so now I am going to be able to farm down completely before they even get to another move. They're going to come back into the bomb barrier, and it's going to be able to farm us down before I'm able to actually throw the Mud Bomb. Now I'm going to switch out into my Slowpoke, but at this point, this game is pretty much over, to be honest. I'm going to switch out, hoping I can get the farm down with the Galarian Zapdos, but I unfortunately do not get the farm down. They're going to switch out into Corebreaking, and because we don't have close combat, we're actually going to end up losing this game. Maybe, I don't know. To be honest, I'm not too sure. We do get a shield here. No, it didn't matter because we weren't going to make it to two close combats there. to get the shield, and then we're gonna be farming up with the Slowpoke. We're gonna go straight for the water post. Don't expect them to shield, to be honest, and they don't shield, so yeah. We're just gonna get KO'd here with a rock slide, and that's gonna be unfortunate GG's for us. Now we're gonna hop into the next battle. We're gonna see Zapdos into a Conkeldurr. Apparently, obviously, I would rather have my Slowpoke on this, but we're going to farm up as these counters do a lot of damage. I know this is just a brutal swing, but I am going to go ahead and just shield. They're going to switch out into a Clogsire, and I'm just going to go straight for the Brave Bird because I don't expect them to shield because they think I have close combat, but unfortunately for them, I don't have close combat. Now I'm going to switch out to my Wish Cache. We're going to take a move here. They're throwing water poses, very questionable by the opponent, but either way, they're going to swap back into their Conkeldurr, and I'm just going to go ahead and throw the Mud Bomb. They are going to shield it. Now I'm going to farm up, try to get to another move. Unfortunately, I don't make it to the move before they throw. Now I'm going to try to hope I live, but I don't live. That's fine with me because one confusion is going to be enough to KO, and then in the back, they have another Oinkoloing. I'm going to go ahead and let this go through. It's just a body slam. It is on charge move or charge attack priority, or the Bapti, as we would call it now, the Bapti. Uh, they throw in bad timing, giving me a free extra move. So now I'm going to go ahead and shield this. I'm going to make it to the side shock. I'm going to throw as I get to the water post, and this is not enough to KO, but nope, they don't let me finish him off with my Slowpoke. But either way, one more counter is going to be enough to KO, and we're going to be able to take that game. And yeah, we're going to hop into the next battle. We're going to see Zapdos into Golbat. This is very bad for us. I need to, and they swap out at the same time as I swap out, so that's crazy. Now, I am going to get hit with a nice slash here, but that is fine. I'm going to overfarm. I'm going to try to throw him very good timing, which it seems like we kind of did. I am going to throw the Mud Bomb since they let it go through at this point. I know they just now got to the move, so I'm hoping that I can shield this and farm down completely before they get to another move. But they get the boost, and because they get the boost now, I'm not going to be able to make it to the blizzard, but I'm hoping that they don't know water gun counts and that they are going to shield. So they do end up shielding. Now I'm going to come into my Slowpoke, and this is a big call. Are they going to shadow ball me? They do end up shadow balling me, and this is really bad for us. Now I'm gonna go ahead and throw my side shock. Are they going to shield? They don't shield, which is good for me. Now in the back, there's a sand slash, and they forgot about my counter user, and we're gonna be able to shield this, even though the powder snows are super effective on our Galarian bird, but we are gonna be able to fast move them down before they fast move us down, and we're gonna go ahead and win that and to get a 4-1. I do believe I had one negative set. I think it was like a 2-3. I did take that one out, but regardless, I do believe there's 2 4-1s and a 3-2. But yeah, now we're gonna see Zwilus into our Galarian Zapdos. This is really good for us. They're gonna switch on to Quagsire. I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through. Probably just Aqua Tail. It is just an Aqua Tail. I'm gonna farm up, get to the Brave Bird. If they let this go through, regardless, I'm gonna go ahead and switch out into my Wish Cache. As they do end up throwing the Mud Bomb, probably. Yeah, it is the Mud Bomb. So now I'm gonna go ahead and keep farming up. They're gonna outpace me to the move since Water Gun is gonna be a little bit slower to the move to slower to the moves, as Mud Bomb or Mud Shot is one of the best energy gaining fast moves in the game. Now they are gonna be able to farm us down before we make it to another Mud Bomb, which is kind of bad for us. I'm gonna go ahead and shield this. Just a body slam. I'm gonna switch out, and they're gonna have a Togekiss, not a Togekiss, a Togetic. And this Togetic is actually going to be able to dazzling us. And now at this point, because I didn't shield that, I believe I'm going to go ahead and end up losing this game. We're going to see. They do end up throwing on bad timing on alignment, so which gives me a free fast move. I am going to go ahead and let it go. Yup, I remember now. I don't know if I should have shielded there or not. I don't know. I don't know. I think we were going to lose regardless. And yeah, unfortunately, we're going to end up losing. Galarian Zapdos into Quagsire. A lot of Quagsires in the lead. I know the community day just happened. As you guys can see, they're running Aqua Tail. So I am going to go ahead and CMP them on the Brave Bird, hoping that they wouldn't shield, but they do end up shielding, which is kind of bad. So now I do have to shield here. Otherwise, where I wouldn't have to shield if I didn't throw the Brave Bird. But now I'm going to farm up, try to catch the next Aqua Tail onto my Slowpoke, which it looks like we are successful. They are going to stay in, farming up, and then as they do bank a move, they swap out. Now they're going to come into a knockdown, and this knockdown, or is like I like to call it nerf town because it did get nerfed. I am gonna make it to another side shock. I do believe this is the BAP time, so we are gonna be able to win the BAP time up against a knockdown, which is pretty crazy. And now we're gonna be able to try to farm down completely. We do get the farm down as they do come into a scaled ridge. They're gonna get one incinerate, which is kind of bad for us, but we do have water gun. So we're look at this water gun on the shadow. Whiscash just doing so much damage, and I'm gonna go ahead and let that go through because I do know that they have a move on their Quagsire. So now at this point, I am gonna switch out, and they're gonna farm me, or they're gonna get to another move here on our Galarian Zapdos. And I thought about just letting them taking me out, but I'm not sure if that was, I don't know what I needed to do, but either way, we have a move banked on our Switchcast, but it doesn't matter because Skeldridge is going to be able to win CMP and they're going to take that game. So now we're going to hop into the next battle. We're going to see Clogsire into our um, Galarian Zapdos as they do farm up. I'm thinking this is just a Sludge Bomb, but I am going to shield. No, it's the Stone Edge. I am going to shield the Stone Edge. I'm going to farm up, throw the Brave Bird, I don't expect them to shield, but they do end up shielding, which is fine. But either way, we do have two answers in the back. So now I am going to go ahead and switch out. They come into a Mandy Buzz up against our Wishcash. I don't expect them to shield since they are already down a shield. I am going to go for the Blizzard, but they do end up shielding, which was kind of a bad waste of energy for me, to be honest. But now they are going to make it to a Dark Post. One more Snarl for me to take me out, and now I am gonna come into my Zapdos. I am gonna take this move. But for some reason they do end up throwing Dark Pulses. I am gonna farm up a little bit extra, throw on very good timing, 3 Snarls, and now I'm gonna be able to take it out as they do have the clock. They come back into the clock. So I'm gonna go ahead and shield this, hoping this is just the Earthquake. It is the Earthquake, so we do correctly shield the hardest hitting move as they do come into Medicham, and this Medicham is gonna get hit with a water pulse. But at this point, I kind of realized that I probably should just went Shy Shock. So now they are going to be able to throw a move at us. Dynamic Punch is resisted, so is the Psychic. So really, they don't have a move to throw at the Slowpoke. So now we are going to be able to get to another move. And we need to get to another move here on the Clogsire, but we're not able to. They are going to be able to Stone Edges. Now I need to outpace to the Brave Bird. Maybe Ancient Power is going to be enough, but we make it to the Brave Bird just to just to make sure that is going to be enough to KO, and we're going to be able to take that game. Now we're going to hop into the next battle. We're going to see Gligar into our Galarian Zapdos. This is really bad, so we're going to switch out into our Wishcash, which is once again running Water Gun. And this is one of the reasons why I'm running Water Gun. I was thinking about running Slowpoke also with Water Gun. I probably will end up running it with Water Gun tomorrow. We're gonna see. But either way, this Gligar is gonna be able to make it to another move. I'm gonna try to farm down before they make it to another move, and we're successful as they do come into a Vigoroth at this point. I don't expect them to shield, to be honest, but they do end up shielding, which is fine. So now I am gonna come into my Galarian Zapdos. I'm gonna let them go ahead and throw a Body Slam at me, as I know that I can live one. Now I am gonna try to catch another one, but we don't catch another one as they do come into a Pidgeot, and they're gonna throw a move here, and we do call the Feather Dance. Now I am gonna go ahead and throw my own move before they try to debuff me again, and they do let it go through. So now I am gonna go ahead and let this go through. If they do Brave Bird me, I am just gonna go ahead and farm down with my Galarian Zapdos, but I think they knew what I was planning to do, and they just don't shield. Now at this point, they are going to be able to make it to another Feather Dance, and I'm just going to go ahead and let it go through. At this point, I need to farm down with the Galarian Zapdos. We get the farm down, we're going to be able to win that game. So, to be honest, all three of these Pokemons could have had the video of their own. But I ended up choosing Slowpoke because who uses Slowpoke? But anyway, yeah, I had fun, as you guys can see, and a lot of very good battles as well. Charger Bug, they're staying in, which is kind of weird, to be honest, but they're going to go ahead and throw this X Scissor. I'm going to try to make sure that I throw in good timing, and we're going to be able to throw another Mud Bomb. They do let it go this time, which is really good for me. They come into a Quackaville. I don't know how to say it, but that thing. the new Paldea starter, but they are going to be able to wing attack us down. When I come into my Slowpoke, because I do know that I resist every single move here, and Confusion is super effective, so I am going to go ahead and take another move here. Do believe this is the close combat. It is the close combat. And in the back, they have a Clogsire. Excuse me. And now we're gonna be able to. They're gonna go ahead and throw a move here. I'm gonna take it. And now at this point, I'm hoping that I can win with my Galarian Zapdos. I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through. It's probably just a Sludge Bomb. It is the Sludge Bomb. I'm gonna farm up a little bit extra. Try to throw on seeing on the Baptine. I do believe we did throw in the Baptine. Man, my throat is killing me. Sorry about that, guys. And we're gonna be able to farm down the Quackaville before they farm us down. Man, my throat. Sorry about that, guys. And we're gonna go 3-2 here as I do check it. Now we're gonna get a Jellicent, a Frillish for our encounter, and now we're gonna hop into the next battle. We're gonna see Trevenant, which is kind of a core breaker. Actually, is a core breaker. So I am gonna go ahead and shield here, and to my surprise, they actually throw the Shadow Ball, which is really good for us. So now I am gonna go ahead and throw this Ancient Power. Do they want to shield? They do want to shield. Now I'm gonna try to make it to another Ancient Power. We make it to this Ancient Power on the Baptite, and now are they wanting to shield again? No, they don't. But we do get the boost, and because we get the boost, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and shield and try to farm down completely before they make it to another move or farm us down. And we are actually able to barely, and they come into was that a Volswitch Graveler? They're gonna come into a Bombardier, and I'm scared that this has payback. So I am gonna stay in and take a move here. And now that I took a move, I'm gonna try to throw another move at them, hoping that they do end up shielding. But they do end up shielding, so I'm gonna switch out, hoping I can take a move here and make it to a water post because the side shock is resisted because of the. But I do end up going for the side shock, even though it is resisted. I wanted to see how much damage it would be because I do know that they're gonna make it to another move, so I might as well just throw a move regardless. They're gonna be able to take me out. I'm gonna try to farm down completely, but they end up farming us down before I farm them down, and we're gonna end up losing that game. So now we're gonna see Bombardier and in the lead and up against our Galarian Zapdos, and I'm hoping that since these counters are like neutral and they're hurting them, I'm hoping that we can get a shield here and see what we can do. I might end up swapping out eventually, but they swap out before me. And now I'm going to try to make it to another move here. We do make it to a move here, hoping that they end up shielding this, and they do shield it, which is good for me. So now I'm going to switch out into my Wish Cache and let whatever move comes through. It is a breaking swipe, so I'm going to try to farm up a little bit extra. At this point, I do believe this is just another breaking swipe as we do get the weak connection thing. And now I'm gonna try to make sure I throw in good timing, but because we lagged and because of this weak connection, we're actually gonna end up not getting the move off. And yeah, this is looking really bad for us, not gonna lie, with all this lag. And now we're gonna come into Slowpoke. Unfortunately, Slowpoke is gonna get hit with multiple breaking swipes because of that lag. We're not going to be able to farm them down before they make it to another move. And by this time, Slowpoke is already deep and like close to the red. I'm going to switch out, take off the debuff. I'm going to go for the water post here, hoping this is enough to KO. It is. And in the back is a Clodsire. We need to make it to back-to-back side shocks. Here's one side shock. Can we make it to another one before they do? Before they take us out and get to two sludge bombs. What is that? I don't know if it was a sludge bomb, but anyway, we're gonna be able to make it to a side shock, and Slowpoke is gonna be able to take that game. Yo, I'm telling you, man, Slowpoke was super fun. Seeing all those Clogsires, a lot of Pokemon that Slowpoke could win up against, which was pretty crazy. Now we're gonna see a double as we were lagging in the beginning of the game. They're gonna switch out. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the Brave Bird right off the rip, and they are not gonna shield. They're not gonna make it to move as the water guns are gonna farm down. At this point, they're gonna switch out into. They're gonna come into a Arborola. I don't know how to say it, but that the tree thing, the new tree thing. And I was like, man, I don't know what to do here. I did not realize that counter was super effective against it. So since it's pretty much all the way so low I thought one confusion was going to be enough to KO, and one confusion is enough to KO. I know that they have the wild charge, but this is only three, I do believe. They only had three. They only did three double kicks, so it was only a body slam, and we call it, and we're going to be able to farm them down before they make it to another move. Now we're going to see Zapdos into Swampert. This is not good because Swampert could always throw those Hydro Cannons as they are super spammy. I'm going to go for the Brave Bird as they do switch out. Gligar's going to get hit. And once again, they're not going to make it to a move with when Wishcast comes in and farm down with water. I can't even talk with water guns. And now they're going to come back into their Swampert. And we're going to go ahead and throw a Mud Bomb. This point, I was hoping that I was going to be able to farm down completely, and we do farm down completely. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Mud Bomb here, as we're not going to make it to a Blizzard. They do end up shielding, which is kind of good for us. Now I'm going to switch. I'm going to come into my Galarian Zapdos, let them throw whatever they want here, and make them spend some energy. Now I am going to come into my Slowpoke, as all my Pokemon are already gone. So now I am going to go ahead and let this go through, and they end up baiting us with a Dragon Claw, and we're going to be able to farm down Slowpoke, closing out so many games. Now we're gonna see Greedon in the lead up against our Zapdos, which is really good for us. They're gonna be able to make it to a body, so I'm gonna go ahead and shield this. I'm gonna go ahead and farm up. Should have threw right away. Now I'm hoping I can get the boost here. Maybe that shield ended up, and we get the boost, which is kind of crazy. So the shield was kind of good for us. Now we're gonna be able to let this go through, farm them down before they make it to another move. They're gonna come into a Jellicent. I'm gonna go straight for the Brave Bird, hoping that they don't shield this, and they actually don't shield. Now I'm gonna switch out, farm them down with water guns. They're gonna come into a double. At this point, this game is pretty much over for them, since I ended up keeping the Galarian Zapdos. All I gotta do is just make sure to get it low where I can farm it down with counters, and the opponent is just gonna end up force quitting the app, and we're gonna be able to win that game. Now we're gonna see. Oh no, that's a 4-1. We beat a double at the end to get a Wooloo encounter, which I will end up trading with the party event, the next event that's popping up. Um, We're going to see a very good lead, as we do see a Lowland Sandslash up against our Galarian Zapdos. We are going to have to shield this because those Powder Snows are starting to add up. They're going to switch out into a Clogsire. I'm going to go straight for the Brave Bird. As we've seen, a lot of them do not shield, and this one is no different and does not shield. Now I'm going to come into my Wish Cache. I'm going to try to farm down completely, and we are going to be taking a earthquake to the face, but they do make it to another move. So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through, because I don't want to use another shield, and we actually live it because they throw the sludge bomb. Be able to throw this mud bomb as they do come back into, no, they come into Venusaur, and now at this point, poor Venusaur doesn't realize it, but we have a confusion user, and they switch out and let us farm down their Alolan Sandslash. I'm gonna switch out into my Zapdos, pretty much just making them spend energy here. And now I am gonna be able to farm down completely, as they do let a confusion come through and throw on alignment. Maybe they thought I was gonna throw there, but yeah. And we're gonna be able to take that game. So now we're gonna see Lurantis into our Galarian Zapdos. At first I thought it was kind of bad, but then I realized maybe it's not so bad. But either way, they're gonna switch on to a Carbinks, as I do end up going for the Baptiste here, and they're gonna go ahead and let it go through. I'm gonna let this go through as well, and I do believe I stopped tapping because I thought they were gonna run Leafage, but they don't have Leafage, and I was, maybe I should have just threw the move so I could have got it off regardless. But either way, they're gonna throw a move here. I'm gonna let this go through. It's a superpower. Even if they make it to another move, I don't think this is gonna be enough to KO. But they end up throwing Rock Slide for some reason. It says Rock Slide. Now they switch out. I'm gonna switch into my Slowpoke, and this is not looking good. I know they didn't build up to the Earthquake, so this is just a Rock Slide. They let a confusion go through, which is good for me. At this point, I go for the bait, hoping that they're gonna shield this, but to my surprise, they actually don't end up shielding it. They keep letting confusions come through, which is kind of good for me, but it's not looking too good because I needed them to shield the first move, or I needed to get the water post to go through. But either way, I yeah, I baited and it cost me. They're gonna come into their Lorantis. I am gonna get the farm down. I don't get my move off, and yeah, they're just yeah. It was close. I think if I throw my move, I win. But yeah, unfortunately, we're gonna end up losing. As we do see Alola Mola in the lead, they swap out into a Toxapex and they're gonna get met with my Slowpoke, and they let a confusion go through, which is really good for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and shield this. It is the Sludge Bomb. Now I am gonna over farm. I should have threw right there, but yeah. Now I am at 100 energy. This is just a brine. So at this point, I just elected to farm down completely. They're gonna come into Alola Mola, and this Alola Mola is just gonna get hit with a lot of side strikes. I make it to another one, and I make sure to throw two confusions for three of their um three waterfalls, and this time I do throw them bad timing, just so I can get this move off. And I'm gonna switch into my Wish Cash. They switch out, go into Clogsire, and Clogsire just tops left as they do see that we're running Water Gun. Now we're gonna see Quagsire, a lot of Quagsires and Clogsires. Kind of makes sense because we just recently had the community day. This one's actually gonna throw a mud bomb at us. I don't understand why, but I should have swapped out instantly when I saw the Ninetales, but I didn't know it was a Ninetales. But either way, I should have went to my Slowpoke here, I think. But either way, we're gonna go ahead and farm up a lot of energy here. I do throw the mud bomb, hoping that they let this go through. They shield though. Now I'm gonna try to make it to another move here, and I do make it to another move. We're gonna be able to take this switch. We're gonna be able to take switch. Now they're gonna come into a Quagsire. They're gonna be able to farm me down completely, which is fine. I'm gonna come into my Galarian Zapdos. At this point, I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through. It's just an Aqua Tail. Now I know what movesets they are running. So I am going to go ahead and let this go through, hoping I can farm down completely, but they end up swapping down to a Clogsire. So now I'm going to shield. Now I am going to go ahead and throw this Side Shock. I do believe this is the Bap time. So I am going to go ahead and let this go through. Sludge Bomb. Now I'm hoping I can actually farm down completely, and we don't. I was hoping we're going to be able to sneak a move there, but we don't sneak. And now I'm hoping I can farm down completely. We do get the farm down. I'm at the Side Shock. Is Shy Shock gonna be enough to KO? Is not enough to KO. One more confusion, and we're gonna be able to take the game with Slowpoke once again. Slowpoke, I'm telling you, was probably the MVP. Where I try to make it to MVP. Um, as we do see a bad lead here, and now I'm going to switch out into my Wishcast. They do throw the Shadow Ball, which is good for me. I'm hoping that they don't know the Water Gun counts. They are making it to a Poison Fang here, so I am going to throw the Mud Bomb. They does get the shield. Now at this point, I'm going to go ahead and let this go through, hoping that they bait here, and they do end up throwing the Poison Fang. Now I'm going to make it to another Mud Bomb at this point. Do they want to shield? They do want to shield, so we do get both of the shields at this point. I'm going to go ahead and let this go through. If it's enough to KO, it's enough to KO, but it's not. I'm going to switch out, and they're going to come to a Cloudfire. This is not any better trainer, and we're going to be able to get this Side Shock off. It's going to do some reasonable amount of damage, and they are going to throw on bad timing at this point. I'm going to go ahead and let this go through. It is going to be an Earthquake, but that is fine with me. I'm going to try to farm down completely, but we have to shield this move up, which is probably going to be a Sludge Bomb now. So we should have shielded the first move. Now I'm hoping that we can farm down the Golbat before they make it to a move. They come into a Lantern. This is not looking good for us. This is not looking good. I'm going to try to make it to another move. We don't make it to another move. Now, I am going to come into my Galarian Zapdos at this point. Going to try to catch a Thunderbolt. And it looks like we do end up catching the Thunderbolt. Now I'm going to farm up. We need to take this out. We make it on the Baptiste. But at this point, I need to farm down the Golbat or make it to a move. And no, they're going to make it to a Poison Fang. They're going to be able to take us out. And we're unfortunately going to end up losing that game. Very close game, but we do end up losing. to go 3-2 in the very last set. So if you guys did like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. As we are close to 100 subscribers, we're at 60 currently, and I do believe like 96% of you guys are not subscribed. So if we can start trying to get more subscribers so the channel can grow, also like the video and all that good jazz. But yeah, hope you guys liked the video, and I will see you guys on the next one.